The story of Shiva and Sati has a unique status in Hindu mythology. This is the only story where a goddess sacrificed herself and destroyed her body. The story is a tragic tale of love, longing, relationships, revenge, and forgiveness. This story deals with almost all human emotions. Shiv and Shakti are inseparable. Their union maintains the balance between Purusha and Prakriti. But their union was not an easy task. It took thousands of years and two incarnations of Ma Shakti as Sati and Parvati to make their permanent bond. Sati's story starts with her father Daksh. Daksh was the Manas Putra, or the mind-created son of Lord Brahma, although some texts state that he was born from the right toe of Brahma. Daksh was a Prajapati. He was one of the agents of creation. Daksh was also a Raj Rishi, which means he was a rishi and a king. He performed numerous yagnas to please the Devas and Trimurti. Daksh married Prasuti, the daughter of Swayambhu Manu. Daksh was a great king and a revered personality in all three worlds, and because of this, a little sense of pride crept into his mind. On the advice of Lord Brahma, Daksh and Prasuti performed rigorous penance for thousands of years, worshipping Ma Shakti. Finally, the goddess was pleased with their penance and appeared before them. Daksh and Prasuti requested her to be born as their daughter. Ma Shakti smiled and granted them the boon. Soon, Daksh and his wife Prasuti were blessed with a beautiful daughter, whom they named Sati. Apart from Sati, Daksh had many other daughters, and all the daughters played important role in the creation of different species on earth. Sati was the star of Daksh's eyes. She was his favorite. Sage Narada would often visit Daksh's palace and amuse young Sati with the stories about Lord Shiva. The girl started to adore Shiva, and as she grew, her love for Shiva increased. When the time came for finding a suitable husband for Sati, proposals came from everywhere, but Sati rejected them all. Her heart only desired Shiva as her husband. Daksh was not very happy with this thought. However, he loved his daughter too much, so he finally relented and gave her permission to marry Shiva. However, there was another problem. Shiva was not aware of Sati's love for him, and for that, on Narad's advice, Sati left her palace and went to the forest and started a penance to please Shiva. Sati's penance finally bore fruit, and Shiva appeared in front of her. Sati expressed her desire for Shiva's companionship, and Shiva agreed to her wish. Sati returned to her father's palace with Shiva's promise. Daksh was very happy to see his daughter, although he was not very happy at the thought of Sati marrying Shiva. Daksh hated the way Shiva lived. Shiva's lifestyle and the company of scary creatures made him cringe, but he loved his daughter too much to oppose the wedding. Shiva kept his promise and came to ask for Sati's hand. Daksh accepted the proposal and Shiva married Sati. Soon Sati left her father's palace and left with Shiva to his abode. Once Lord Brahma held a yagna and invited all the gods, rishis and kings of the three worlds. Daksh reached the yagna place with his entire family. Everyone stood up to greet him upon his arrival. All except Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. All three were above anyone in the entire universe. However, Daksh took this as an insult that Shiva, his son-in-law, did not stand up to greet him. His anger knew no bounds, and right there he cursed Shiva that he would never be given any share of the yagna. He also cursed his followers to live on cremation grounds and to be despised by society. Shiva's Ganas got angry and wanted to punish Daksh, but Shiva stopped them. Shiva told them that Daksh's curse did not affect him. Brahma told Daksh that no yagna can be completed without Shiva's presence. But Daksh did not listen and stormed out of the place. Daksh was boiling in rage and wanted to teach a lesson to Shiva. He decided to organize a great yagna. He sent the invitations to every god, sage, king and all living beings to attend the yagna. But he purposely did not invite either Shiva or Sati to his yagna. Everyone arrived at the yagna. It was a great occasion, and Daksh ensured that all the guests receive importance according to their status. However, to show his disgust for Shiva, he placed a statue of Shiva at the gate in place of a doorkeeper. Everyone was shocked at this scene, but no one spoke a word for either the fear of Daksh or keeping with the tradition of not speaking against a host. Daksh was happy that he got his revenge against Shiva. When Sati got to know about the yagna, she wanted to go there. However, Shiva warned her, saying that it was not right to go anywhere uninvited. Sati tried to convince Shiva, saying that her father might have forgotten to invite them, thinking they are family. But Shiva, who knew the truth, told that Daksh did not forget them, he intentionally did not invite them. He told Sati that her father hated that she married Shiva and he never liked him. But Sati was not convinced. She asked for Shiva's permission to go to the yagna. Sati said that she would speak to Daksh and make him see the truth about Shiva and his greatness. She believed that she could change his father's heart. Shiva tried hard to prevent her from going to the yagna, but Sati was adamant. Finally, Shiva agreed and asked Nandi and the other Ganas to accompany her. Sati smiled and told Shiva that she will be back soon. As she left, Shiva had tears in his eyes. As Sati reached the yagna, she was shocked to see Shiva's statue at the gate. She somehow composed herself and walked towards where her father was sitting. Daksh saw Sati but ignored her. Sati tried to speak to him, but Daksh ignored her and insulted her. Sati was angry now. She demanded to know why Shiva was not invited to the yagna. Daksh roared back, saying that Shiva does not deserve the respect of being invited to such a big yagna. Then he went on to insult Shiva. Sati told him that no yagna can be completed without Shiva's presence. Daksh answered that the presence of Lord Vishnu and Lord Brahma was enough to complete the yagna, and then he kept insulting Shiva. Sati was heartbroken. She realized her mistake of coming to the yagna and remembered how Shiva tried to stop her and she did not listen to him. Sati spoke in a loud voice. First, she scolded everyone present there, including Lord Vishnu and Brahma, for being quiet spectators of Shiva's insult. She said that Shiva is above insults and pride. That's why he did not mind not being invited or being insulted. But she could not bear the insult of her husband. She looked at her father and said that now that she had been humiliated and came here against Shiva's wish, it was not possible for her to go back to him. She said that since she could not live without Shiva's presence in her life, she had no choice but to give up her mortal body, which was given to her by her father Daksh. And the next moment, Sati jumped into the sacrificial fire. A shock wave spread in the yagna hall. Everyone jumped from their seats. Nandi and other Ganas ran towards the sacrificial fire where Sati's body was burning in a blaze. Unable to control their anger, Nandi and the other Ganas attacked every guest in the assembly. They destroyed the entire yagna place and started beating everyone present there. Soon, a battle broke out there. After the initial shock, the gods recollected themselves and came together to face the Ganas. They defeated the Ganas. The Ganas ran back towards Kailash. When Nandi and other Ganas reached Kailash and recounted the horrific events to him, Shiva just closed his eyes. The feeling of losing Sati engulfed him in a state of sorrow. Soon his sorrow turned into a rage. Shiva opened his eyes. There was fire in them. All the Ganas moved away from him in fear. Shiva rose and started his dance of destruction, the Tandav. The entire universe shook with Shiva's dance. Everyone was afraid, certain that it was the end of the universe. And then Shiva pulled a jata, a streak of hair from his head, and threw it on the ground. A fearful and giant figure emerged from his jata. It was Veerbhadra, Shiva's destructive form. He was so fearsome that the entire world went into shock at his scream. Shiva ordered Veerbhadra to go to Daksh's yagna and destroy everything. Veerbhadra bowed his head and left for Daksha's yagna. Everyone was still in a state of shock at Daksh's yagna place. Soon everyone saw a dark black cloud moving towards them. It was so dark that it engulfed the sun, and the entire assembly was covered in darkness. Before anyone could understand what was happening, Veerbhadra and Rudra's army attacked them like a hungry pride of lions attacking a herd of deer. Veerbhadra brought massive destruction with him. Lord Vishnu attacked him with his mighty Sudarshan Chakra. but Veerbhadra calmly caught it in his hand and threw it away. Lord Vishnu knew it was impossible to defeat him and disappeared from there. The Ganas and Veerbhadra destroyed everything in sight and killed everyone who stood in front of them. Soon, Veerbhadra caught hold of Daksha and before anyone could react, he held Daksh's head in his giant palm and ripped it from his body. Then he threw the head in the same fire where Sati had destroyed her body. Veerbhadra threw Daksh's lifeless body aside and gave a loud roar. Daksh's wife Prasuti came running and started weeping loudly, keeping her husband's lifeless corpse in her lap. Lord Brahma advised her that only Shiva can restore the life of Daksh. He asked her to worship Shiva and ask for forgiveness. Listening to Brahma's words, Prasuti folded her hands and started worshipping Shiva. Shiva was pleased with her heartfelt apology and worship and appeared before her. He quickly forgave everyone. He restored the lives of everyone killed in the battle. Prasuti begged Shiva to forgive Daksh and restore him to life. Shiva accepted her request and asked Veerbhadra to bring Daksh's head. Veerbhadra told Shiva that Daksh's head was destroyed in the fire. Then Shiva asked to bring the head of the sacrificial animal. Veerbhadra brought the head of the goat. Shiva placed the goat's head on Daksh's torso and brought him to life. As soon as he was alive, Daksh fell at Shiva's feet and apologized for his sins. He asked for forgiveness. Shiva forgave him and permitted him to complete the yagna. With Lord Vishnu as the chief priest, the yagna was completed and Shiva was offered donations. After the completion of the yagna, Shiva was still grief-stricken. He picked up the burnt body of Sati and left the place. He kept wandering through the universe with Sati's body on his shoulder. The entire world was engulfed in dark sorrow. All gods requested Vishnu to do something so that Shiva overcomes this grief and order can be restored in the world. Lord Vishnu sent his Sudarshan Chakra in invisible form and it cut off the body of Sati into 51 parts. Wherever the body parts of Sati fell on earth, Shakti Pithas were established. After Sati's body was separated, Shiva regained his calm. He returned to Kailash and entered a deep samadhi. The world got relief as it was now possible for Devi Shakti's reincarnation and her union with Shiva. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe to us for more such content.